All right. Hello. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We are covering some of the Canadian Collegiate League placement matches for Overwatch 2. So tonight we have Western University versus St. Clair's Saints Academy. Should be a really, really good match. These are two very strong teams. We are, of course, over in the Premier placements. So these are going to be kind of the top teams of the CCL competing here to find their placements before we head into the regular season. So welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a nice little break. But thank you so much again for coming out and supporting Canadian Collegiate. Super excited to get into this one. Let's take a look at our two teams. Definitely, if you've been watching CCL or the Canadian Esports Nationals, you're probably familiar with these two teams, but let's give a reminder of who is playing tonight. Let's take a look at Western University first. So we have Blue Ice, the Red Ninja on DPS. We are going to have Do 2257 on the tank, Jester, and Dr. Tony on the supports. Dr. Tony, my favorite Mercy main. I love to see these compositions that Western University brings out. They've been so fun, so chaotic to watch. Western University did, of course, pick up the second division number 2 of the Canadian Esports Nationals. So this is a championship team right here. Let's take a look over at a St. Clair Academy because, of course, St. Clair always putting out such high-performing teams, and this Overwatch team, of course, up there with the best of them. Kevin Fart and INVU on the DPS here. Aesthetic Sock going to be on the tank. Love Note and Bast the supports here. I will note that unfortunately I wasn't able to give everybody their preferred heroes. Aesthetic Sock letting me know that her favorite hero actually is Tracer. My overlays lock me out of putting Tracer for the tank player, but keep that in mind. And then Bast favorite hero is the Genji. So I tried to pick the heroes that I thought were maybe the closest to those, but fitting into the roles that they will be playing. So these are our starting lineups for tonight. We do have some subs available for both teams. We have some in the lobby, so we'll see if there's any changes as we go through the maps. Now, this is going to be a best of 5, so it's a first to 3. And if you're new to CCO, things are done a little bit differently here, and the fact that we have map bans. So the maps are going to be played in a set order, starting with control. But all of the maps that are available for competitive play are actually in the map pool. So the way that it works is we're doing a coin flip right now between the teams to see who is going to get to ban out the first map. And then in response to that, it will be the map pick coming in. So looks like it is going to be St. Clair Academy that are going to ban out a map first. Of course, it does have to be a control map. Antarctic Peninsula is not in the pool because it has been removed from competitive play. So we won't get to see that map, but hopefully the developer team is working on it and they're going to bring us back a new and improved Antarctic Peninsula. I think that they did a fantastic job with the Flashpoint maps when they reorganized them a bit, so definitely excited to see what they're cooking up with Antarctic, but we're not going to get it here. So yeah, on top of the map bans, we'll of course have the hero bans that we usually have. I think it's pretty standard now across most divisions. And we are going to have our first map ban, at least coming in. So it is going to be the Ilios ban from the side of St. Clair Academy. Interesting. I, of course, am a fan of Ilios, big fan. So very tragic to not see that there's gonna be any Ilios in here. But don't worry, because we do have Lijiang Tower making an appearance. So let's get this onto the graphic here, because Lijiang Tower, of course, where else would we want to start? If we're not going to Ilios for control, yeah, Lijiang Tower, that's gotta be it. All right. Excited for this. So again, we had Ilios banned out by St. Clair's Academy, and it is Lijiang. That will be picked. So we do have a kind of an interesting code here as well that CCL has developed and implemented, in that the codes actually, the custom game code will help you do the bans in game, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna just wait to get into that. I don't know that I'll show what it looks like in the lobby. It's very much not that exciting. You basically just get a bunch of Zenyatas and then everybody just kind of picks based on whatever factors. Honestly, I guess I haven't been on the player side of things, so I've only ever seen it from the outside looking in. I promise it's not that exciting. A little bit of chatter and match chat regarding the bans, and St. Clair Academy potentially looking for a target ban right off the bat heading into Lijiang Tower, because they know that Dr. Tony wants to play that Mercy. I do have to say though, I think if you go for, you know, a target ban right out of the door, you might, you know, want to have that back come the time that maybe your back is against the wall. But who knows? I guess if you want to just start off strong, you want to get some momentum building, first to 3. So, you know, the first map you do want to, of course, you want to get a win on it, but you have room to work with, right? This is not a best of 3, so this could go the distance. As we do have the hero bands coming in, so it is going to be the Mercy band out. And it is going to be the Zarya band out. Let me add these in here. Hero bands. We have the Mercy. We have the Zarya. All right. Teams are ready. Let's get into it. Oh, I will need to switch the sides before we go in, because we are going to be having St. Clair's on the blue team. Let's sure that's correct. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's head in. Take a look at Lijiang Tower here. We will be starting on Garden first. No Mercy, no Zarya, which have been hidden. There you go. Now we know. No Mercy, no Zarya. All right, teams are hovering. Oh, okay, potentially Junker Queen comps here. This is very interesting to me. I think especially Lijiang Tower Garden is typically more favored towards kind of brawl or dive compositions. But yeah, looking like we might get the rush comp here. It is going to be INVU getting her team a TP out. I suspect Red Ninja also doing the same for his team. What are we going to swap over to? It is going to be the Pharah from INVU. The Vendetta coming out here from the Red Ninja. Dr. Tony is going to flex over onto this Kiriko without that Mercy to work with. A lot of damage done to INVU right away. A lot of pressure on Love Note on this Kiriko to try and find the heals onto this Pharah. It's an aggressive push in. Western is not making any slow movements here. Nice kill onto Aesthetic Sock, and that is looking pretty darn good for the cleanup here, as Western is going to get the first tap on the point. Really great job setting the tempo here. When you have this Junker Queen composition, you need to move fast, especially if you're playing against this Pharah composition that St. Clair's is running. INVU, she wants to get the poke damage in. She needs a little bit of time to kind of find the big value with this Pharah. Just need to make sure that her team is kind of ready to follow up on that damage. You can see a nice little angle being taken here by this Pharah. We have Aesthetic Sock on the point. That is an environmental kill for INVU. Excellent target, two falling down, and Dr. Tony trading out here, though, so you do manage to find that kill on to Mass. Try and slow things a little bit, but Kevin Fart just cannot be slowed down. That is going to be the flip coming through. Another environmental kill here for INVU, as she is going to send Blue Ice back to the spawn. 31%. Good little start here for the side of Western, but come back into this strong. You're up against this Barrage and the Kitsune Rush that are coming online. Dr. Tony, he needs to get this rush online quickly. It is going to be Western passing through this white room, looking to avoid any more environmental kills from INVU, who does have this Barrage now ready to go. So I don't think she's going to be too sad that everybody from the side of Western is launching a small point. But there it is, Kitsune Rushes from both teams on the point. So far looking very good for St. Clair, as you do find 4K and the cleanup there. The Kitsune Rush is going to result in the team kill here for the side of St. Clair, and not too bad. You just have to commit that one ultimate. Both these DPS ultimates now ready to go for the side of St. Clair. Blue Blue Ice does have this overclock, but he's gonna have to find the space to kind of work with, and it's really hard right now because he's getting poked out from a lot of angles. If it's not the Pharah rockets that are coming in, it's Kevin Fard on this Sojourn with the other rail guns, but there's the knife opening. Okay, Julie's gonna take out Kevin Hart. See the shout, they are going in. Western making space here, but there's the barrage on the point. It finds a triple, and INBU is going to once again help her team secure a team kill. It was excellent tempo coming in from the side of Western, but unfortunately for the Red Ninja on this Vendetta, just got punished really hard, and you end up with this immediate trade. And when there's a barrage just waiting in the back pocket, the trade is not going to favor the attacking team as 86%, and now it's looking like St. Clair's are wanting to clean up Gardens here. They still have the Rampage, they still have the Overclock, and a beat to work with. You have Kevin Hart starting things off with this Overclock. First the road side. Did you see the Rampage commit? Oh, nice headshot onto the Red Ninja. That's going to shut down that Thundering Blade. And the numbers are not looking good here for Western to stay in. Garden, the overtime fades down, and a third team kill in a row. That is going to be St. Clair starting our match off with 1 point here.
1-0.
Honest Queen Mirror. So true. When do we get to see that, right? I feel like we're always sitting around waiting for it to show up on a Flashpoint map.
Make sure you're ready.
But we get to see it here on Control, so this is great. I am in support of a Queen Mirror. 100%.
Setting my equalizer to absolute
All right.
destruction.
It's Market next. Looking like these teams maybe want to just stick with these same compositions. The Sojourn, you know, maybe not going to have necessarily as much kind of open space to work with as you would on the Garden submap, but still lots of opportunity to find these shots. Red Ninja is going to swap over onto the Reaper, though, so is off of that Vendetta. Going to be looking to play a little bit closer to do on this Junker Queen. Poke damage is already coming in from INBU, and it's making it very hard for Western to push towards the point. The Suzu's already been forced out from Dr. Tony. Gonna have to get aggressive now, but you just don't really have that get out of jail free card. Space has been taken, though, and the Red Ninja is gonna find the first kill. Immediately trade it back, though, and now there is gonna be no supports on the line for Western, and even though some pressure was put on to the point by Western, it is again kind of fought off by this St. Clair's team, doing a really good job kind of finding their pace, going second in these fights, really punishing some of the over-aggression that's coming through from Western. It's tough because Western wants to play this speed comp. You have the Junker Queen, you have the Reaper now as well. You need to kind of find a way to maybe force out one of these cooldowns so that when you push in really hard, you aren't just immediately met with something that's going to negate this. It is going to be a long angle being taken here from Western, looking to find their way towards this point. Blue Ice, essentially the only one that's really going to be able to deal with INBU, who has already built up nearly doable rush. Big opening pick from Jester. Kevin Fart out of the mix, but the point has not flipped over just yet. Aesthetic Sock still alive. She's putting pressure on the point, but she's very, very low. Great coming out, though, from the rest of her team, and INBU stalling out on point. She's looking to find this kill onto the Lucio. Nice direct hit. Has the barrage ready to go if she needs, but looking to just do the damage. Fast is going to be there to support as well, and unfortunately, once again, even though Western kind of start with this opening pick, they have the advantage. They're just not able to kind of clean up the fight. St. Clair is doing such a great job in these scrappy fights, just finding the picks, finding the value, equalizing, and then coming back even stronger. And 5 ultimates to work with. Also, St. Clair did not use an ultimate for that. Unfortunately for Western, they haven't really bought up a lot. There's the Kitsune Rush. There's the barrage. It's a 4K. Love Note gonna help out with this team kill, and St. Clair's are in the groove now. Pharah has been absolutely detrimental for them. In fact, they're just gonna go in looking to touch the spawn doors. Anybody from the side of Western gonna be able to touch? No, there is not gonna be a touch coming through. That is a 2-0 here for St. Clair Academy to start off our series. A little bit more back and forth, I'd say, when we were on Garden, but definitely once we moved into Market here, INBU was controlling this lobby. Absolutely incredible stuff from the Farah.
Justice reigns from above.
Okay, what a way to start things off. A lot of action. We get the Junker Queen, we get the Farah. This is what happens if you have a Zarya ban. Sometimes you get to play fun compositions. No, I'm a Zarya enjoyer. This is okay. So again, well, you know, like I said before we started, that this is a best of 5, so you have some room to work with here. Western just needs to get their feet underneath them. The timing of their engagements has looked really good. I feel like I'm hearing the 3-2-1s that are happening in their voice chat, but they're just not quite able to kind of find the targets after that. Get a little bit split in the mid-fight. It's good to have a strong engagement, but if St. Clair is kind of staying stronger in these mid-fights, that's where you're going to have a really hard time kind of flipping these points over. And also, kudos to St. Clair for doing such a great job of letting percentage go, but not actually flipping the point over there on market. There were a couple of times where Western definitely kind of had them on the ropes. They almost got that flip over, but you just keep one body on the point. That's enough to keep the percentage going, and that's how you get a 100-0 on market. But Western have some things going their way now, because like I mentioned before, Canadian Collegiate does have map bans. So they do have to go in a set map order though. So we do know that map number 2, the losing team, so Western is going to get to pick between hybrid or escort. And then depending on where we go is what map ban St. Clair will get. So St. Clair's going to get to ban out either a hybrid or an escort. Okay. Looks like they want to take us to a hybrid map. Are we gonna get King's Row right away? Is this what's gonna happen? I mean, I guess it's possible. If we go Lijiang, King's Row. Yeah, that's, you know, par for the course, I think. Casting any Overwatch match these days, not just collegiate, but like anything. Alright, now we just have to wait, see what is the ban gonna be, because again, we do have all of the maps that are playable in competitive are in the map pool for CCL. That is what allows CCL to have these map ban options. So, hybrid. Map ban comes out from the side of St. Clair's Academy, and it is going to be the Hollywood ban. Okay, I get it. You know, maybe I'm not as much a Hollywood enjoyer, and well, what a shocker. We do have our map pick coming in, and it is going to be King's Row. Well, we gotta do Lijiang Tower, then King's Row. Of course we do. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think that, especially the way that Western is doing, like I was praising the engagements from Western, I think that as we move into hybrid map, there's a little bit less flexibility for the kind of push and pull that we see on Control. Might be a little bit harder to kind of win out scrappy fights, but it's just not impossible. So Western definitely still needs to kind of like lock in here. They have a plan for what they're gonna run, and it is going to involve banning out the Farah to start things out. Yeah, I feel like I would ban out the Farah too. IMVU is terrifying. and Farah definitely can be played on King's Row as well. You know, maybe not as much second, third point, but that first point you have the statue to work around. Definitely potential there for the Farah to be played. But not in this map, as we are going to have the Ramatra being banned out in response here. Alright. No Farah, no Ramatra. Is this where we get the Honest Reinhardt duel? Is this what's going to happen? I don't think so, but it's fun to imagine. I definitely always have a fun time getting to cast some Reinhardt on King's Row. The good old days. Once upon a time, I was a Zarya main. Okay. Oh, I better update the scores as well. If you're just tuning in, thanks so much for joining. We're here with Western University versus St. Clair's Academy. Oh, some sounds. I think that means we've reached a goal. Thank you so much to everybody who's been following. I hope that you enjoy the stream. I hope that you can show up to watch more Canadian Collegiate. I will be here on Saturday as well, covering some Canadian Collegiate action. Again, placement matches. All right, Kings Row, let's check it out. It is going to be St. Clair's Academy on the defense here, so the comp that they're on is what they're going to be locked into, at least for now. That Zarya ban from map 1, maybe had an impact. I mean, St. Clair's definitely still came out on top, but we are going to see Aesthetic Sock move over on to the Zarya here. Fast over on the Wu Yang. Did I call it or did I call it? I don't know. Not quite a Genji, but it's darn close. All right, on the attack, we have Dr. Tony over on that signature Mercy here. Du is still on the Junker Queen as well. I'm interested to see how this is going to work against the Zarya. These bubbles, of course, can really make it hard to kind of find the value that you want from the Junker Queen. But so far, Western getting aggressive here. Red Ninja looking to push in. You don't have a Zarya of your own to work with, though, and oh, it's going to get absolutely melted. That's exactly what you need to do if you're St. Clair. You can't allow this Vendetta to get any space for free. Oh yeah, you going to end up falling here, so there is a pick going the way of Western. They're gonna have the better response here. No, not without Dr. Tony though. Mercy just sniped out of the sidelines as Aesthetic Stock gets a little bit split out there, and she does end up falling for it. Now Blue Ice has taken this high ground, and Western did a fantastic job of really forcing their way onto this high ground. Blue Ice never gave this up for free, forced Kevin Fart out, and despite losing, you know, Mercy there and equalizing, able to split off Aesthetic Sock on the Zarya and find the kill onto the tank, and that's going to let you have first point 5 minutes plus in the time bank here for Western. But everybody from the side of St. Clair's did get this forward stun. We're going to be able to hold this choke point. Blue Ice has this bola shot. You'd love to maybe see the Suzu come out or a bubble. There's just a lot that can be used to kind of deny the value. Great take aim! Oh no, Bass is down, and that is to go. Finally see a lot of aggression coming out from the side of Western now. And even though you had those forward spawns, unfortunately for the side of St. Clair, you're not really able to capitalize on it because he did that early pick. Kevin Hart wants to commit here, finds a 2K, keeping his team in this, a third one. Oh my goodness, what a comeback for the side of St. Clair Academy. I really did think that Streets phase was going to be kind of just a wash at that point, and you're going to be able to get so much car progress if you can break through this archway, but Kevin Sharp had the bola shot, finds the connection, and gonna buy enough time for his team to get back into things. So now we see that St. Clair just setting up at the choke point once again. Kitsune Rush committed from Jester here. He's trying to walk his team in. That's exactly what Western does, and then we're gonna combo it with that bola shot. The grab does come out though, and Kevin fired on this Freya. Oh my goodness. I mean, a lot of damage from IMVU as well for sure, but Kevin Bart has another bola. This is incredible. He just used it, and now from the incredible grab from Aesthetic Sock, you build up the bola too. So 4 ults to go here. Fantastic spot to have the ult advantage. Du has built up to this rampage. Again, there's so many obstacles standing in the way of it. Suzu, bubble, and it is going to be both DPS ultimates committed here. Just Sundering Blade takes out 2. Unfortunately for Western, they do commit the rampage and the Valve there, but not able to contend against a Kitsune Rush plus both DPS ults. Oh my goodness. Big commitment from St. Clair though. And those are some really, really big ultimates to be using here. Now you're just holding on to this Tidal Blast. I anticipate it's going to go over onto INVU. At least the most mobile hero in their composition. Red Ninja has a Sundering Blade of his own to work with. Baiting a little bit, maybe trying to get some cooldowns out, trying to get one of these bubbles out, mayhaps. Tidal Blast over on to the Vendetta. Red Ninja, unfortunately, the timing not quite there. He goes in just as his team's kind of getting stole. He's able to find the trade here, and everybody from the side of Western so very, very low. Gonna have to push out. INVU Shaw, she gets a little bit too aggressive here. Does end up getting punished by Blue Ice.
I'm doing good work.
We still have Western waiting for Jester to get back into the fight though. And you can see that St. Clair does not want to give up any space here, despite losing IMU. Kevin Fart has the bola ready to go, so you can use this to try and control the space. He's kind of looking for it, yeah. Ooh, it actually goes a little bit wide there. Blue Ice, though, does not miss. That bola connect on the Love Note. She's sent back to the spawn. No Kiriko now is a big opportunity for Western to try and push forward. That's a lot of healing gone. And that Suzu, the get out of jail free card, again, that is Aesthetic Box. Aesthetic Box just ends up getting split from her team. Really great job from Western to try and take down that tank early in the fight, and there we go. They've cracked it open. The help from Dr. Tony helping to do all that extra damage for the team. Kitsune Rush committed from Jester doesn't even want the touch to happen, and to be fair, they do take out fast before the contest comes in. Just under 3 minutes here to work with. Not too bad considering how hard of a hold there was on second point there. Blue Ice does find the better of Kevin Fart. Red Ninja needs to be so careful. Definitely seeing him do a much better job kind of tempering himself, finding where he can push and what he can't. Oh, okay, Iron View, she tries to put a combo into the grab. Ends up getting taken down. Love Note coming alive here, does end up finding a couple kills, but Blue Ice is definitely answering back here, trying to find the best of Kevin Fart. Knows that Kevin Fart is going to do so much damage if he's allowed to stay alive. Dr. Tony gets the res as well onto the Vendetta, so now Western is rolling around this last corner, full strength, everybody ready to go. We do have some swaps coming here. I see Kevin Fart on the Bastion. Tidal Blast, I suspect, over onto the Wrecking Ball. Yes. Oh, actually isn't going to find a touch the TP away just in time for Jester, and the TP into a kill. Okay, he does get punished for it by ANPU, but we're getting very close to the end here. Aesthetic Sock has swapped over onto that Wrecking Ball, did get the Tidal Blast. Didn't find anything with Tidal Blast, but has been doing a fantastic job just making space. Another res comes through. Dr. Tony gets the second support. Western back into the fight here. Red Ninja trying to find the Spirico, but so moves on the Love though, and she's able to stay alive. Kevin Fart is going to be able to back her up as well, and very close to capping, but it is going to be the swaps that were needed for the side of St. Clair to stall this a little bit longer. Just about a minute to go here for the side of Western to try and full cap the throw. Blue Ice, a lot of damage onto this Wrecking Ball, but you're not going to be able to find this kill. You do have the Bola to work with. Suzu is out now, so Love Note doesn't have that. We see the Bola connect in, and that is going to be Red Ninja. Really nice job following up on that Bola shot, looking for Love Note. She's been able to survive so long, but she's not going to survive this slash through, and with that nice little spin perk, Red Ninja doing so much damage on the point. We're killing the strike. Not going to connect, though, as we get the payload pushing in 37 seconds as well. This is so important. They are able to finish with time in the bank.
Switching sides.
Really good recovery here for Western. I definitely think that the do swapping over onto the Zarya did make a lot of difference. The Junker Queen, you know, when you're taking the mirror, yeah, you're able to kind of find those upper hands a lot of the time, but it's so hard to kind of force out the cooldowns from Zarya that you need with this like Freya, Vendetta, Junker Queen composition. Because the Junker Queen's not really going to be able to force that much out. And then both your DPS as well. The poke damage probably isn't going to force out a bubble. And Red Ninja, unfortunately, every time he kind of went in, it felt like he was getting punished almost right away. So having that bubble to give over onto your Vendetta worked out really nicely here. As are we gonna see a little switcheroo? Aesthetic Sock's thinking about it. All right. Well, on the defense, no changes for the side of Western. No changes since from the third point comp, I should say. It is gonna be due over on the Zarya. I think this combo of Dr. Tony and Blue Ice is just, it's proven to be very, very strong across multiple matches. Blue Ice will hit his shots, and having that damage boost from the Mercy, especially on the Freya, very scary. Alright, IMVU, she's looking, but all she's seeing is the Zarya, so not necessarily gonna go that. Aesthetic Sock is on the Junker Queen here for the attack. And INP is going to swap over onto the Genji as well, so actually no Vendetta on the attack here for the side of St. Clair. very interesting. We often see Vendetta, a very aggressive hero, good at kind of opening things up if you have that support, but the Genji good at finding the kills and cleaning things up. It is going to be Red Ninja trying to take control of this high ground. End up getting the bubble. INBU finds Dr. Tony through all of it. Trades do come out though. Nice take on him onto Love. No, will at least force out the Suzu, but far it is not a lot of progress on the point. Sinclair is kind of just waiting for INBU to get back into things before you can really go aggressive here, and INBU is quite charged up. Yeah, 60% here. Those bubbles onto the Vendetta pretty much just recharge. Oh, okay, or you can just burn through the bubbles, Kevin Fart, and that is going to be Red Ninja falling first here. Western has no choice but to give at least a couple percent here. They might be able to come back in for the recontest. You don't have any ults just yet to work with, but Jester is very quickly building up to this Kitsune rush. Putting his feet on the point, does have the Mercy Prophet to try and stay alive, but between the damage of Acidic Stock and the DPS passive, they're not able to stay alive. Now we have this Kitsune rush online. Jester goes ahead, commits it, and does find the kill. Dr. Tony gets the res. I don't know how he gets away with these. Do back into the fight here, and that's exactly what Western needed to try and fend off this attack, but Red Ninja getting a little bit too aggressive, does end up getting punished. Clair very good at finding these targets that are out of position and punishing them. Valve forced out in response to that Bola, and then a Bola in response here from Western. No kills on either side, but you just need the point presence. Dr. Tony doing his best on the Mercy to try and stall out. Ew, no, we don't get the foot on. There's a good boop, I think, from Bast there to just not do off for a second, and with already 2 ticks in the bank, and Dr. Tony with the res. I can't with this Mercy. I'm so impressed. This means that Western gets up a checkpoint hold, or choke point hold. Getting the res onto the Zarya is massive here. Now, you need to build up to this graph because there's so many ults online for the side of St. Clair. Ooh, the deflect from INBU. Quite find the kill, but it does a whole lot of damage, forces out the Suzu, and that is exactly what Aesthetic Stock wanted. She goes in 4-person rampage here. Her team is there to clean up the baiting shot onto the Mercy, and fantastic job. St. Clair knew exactly what they were looking for, what their win condition was. Force that Suzu out of Jester, hit the Rampage. Street's phase especially so great for Rampage. You're running in a straight line. Most of Street's phase is just straight lines. So really well played. One ult to win the fight, massive here, but we do have Western coming back in with big ultimates here. The grab was then just regular Vendetta damage alone can be impactful. B in response, Kevin Fart gonna throw out the Bola as well. We have that Kitsune rush from Love Note, and that is a heck of a response to a Graviton Surge. The team kill coming through here for St. Clair. It was expensive, yes, but that team kill does mean that you're not gonna get a touch here if you're Western. St. Clair is rolling into third point with 4 minutes in the bank. Very healthy time bank to work with. Oh, the take aim connects on. Unfortunately, Kevin Fart not able to get any healing before that goes through. Nice job from BYS taking control immediately. INBU has this blade. Not a whole lot of ults that can work as a defensive ult, so we're just going to see Western try to go first here. And a rush committed from Jester. It's a nice disengage, though. St. Clair just backs around the corner, waits it out. Suzu forced out. INBU looking for the ult, does end up with a nice bit of deflect damage there. I might have actually been the deflect Bola from Blue Ice. Kevin Fart is going to steal the final kill there. Aesthetic Stock mixing things up as well. Dr. Tony! Okay, well, he gets the res off. Courtesy of the bubble, but does end up falling here. And it seems like scrappy fight ensues. St. Clair coming out on top. Ooh, TP just in time here for Jester. Rampage in. Aesthetic Stock finds 2 and 1.93 meters here, and just slivers of HP for the side of Western. 3 minutes and 22 seconds. St. Clair is going to complete King's Row, and this puts Western in a pretty tricky spot. They're going to get bumped up to 1 minute on the time bank, but 1 minute is really not a lot to work with. You're not really even going to be able to build up some of your ultimates. especially if Dew does stick on the Zarya. It's just gonna be really tough, but not impossible. To see what they're gonna try and work with here, as it is it's gonna be Western on the attack. Looking like we might end up with the Junker Queen. I like it, just like I said, just not a lot of time here. 1 minute, you're not gonna be able to build up a grab. You need to find kind of these opening kills. I think the Reaper makes a lot of sense as well if you're going to pair it with the Jumper Queen. Play a little bit safer. I see the Vendetta so tempting because it's so nice if you hit a combo, but it also, St. Clair is just so good at punishing these engages. And if Red Ninja doesn't have a bubble to kind of help him break into things, here he might blow up very, very quickly, especially, ooh, INVU, she actually is over on the Echo as well, so we haven't seen that on King's Row just yet. She's going to be controlling this high ground very well, but it is not Western looking to rotate up to this high ground. We do have Blue Eyes over on this Cassidy, so a lot more looking for these kind of frontline damage, a lot more pressure onto Aesthetic Stock. Good, Blue Eyes gonna put pressure right on back. Great job from Aesthetic Stock to find another kill, and right now, if you're Western, you just have to reset. You really do not have any time to work with. INVU is going to be able to clean up the last 2 kills there, as 30 left and less than 30 seconds on the clock. Red Ninja is going to swap over on to the Reaper here, potentially for that TP. Great knife from Aesthetic. She takes out Blue Eyes. You're already down 1 in this fight. If you try to push on to the point, you have no choice but to walk through all this damage that St. Clair University is going to throw at you, and it is going to be members of Western falling. One last touch on the point here for Red Ninja, and that is it. Stellar defense set up here by St. Clair. Not even a tick on the point. Oh, now Western is faced with trying to draw King's Row against an opponent that has nearly 3.5 minutes to work with. Absolutely incredible. Oh, Gary, thank you for the Prime sub. I'm on a delay, so I might not see things right away, but thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. If you're just joining, welcome. This is Canadian Collegiate League, so we're in the placements here. We have St. Clair's Academy versus Western University. Powerhouse teams, okay? These are 2 really good teams. Western University won Division 2 of the Canadian Esports Nationals. St. Clair won, I believe it was CCL Season 1. So these are really, really strong teams coming up against each other, and I think we're really seeing that play out here so far. This is a best of 5. First to 3, we're here on map number 2. So still some more Overwatch to be had, fear not. Alright, St. Clair on their attack. We do have INVU starting out on the Widow again. I suspect she's just looking for that headshot. Oh, no, she's not. She's rolling out on it, and she's got a Mercy Rocket as well. Oh, St. Clair, this is just evil. I love it. Alright, and it's going to be a rotation up to the high ground. You can see Kevin Fart trying to get position, trying to find some angles here, trying to chase out some Western members so that INVU has an opportunity to get one of these shots in. And unfortunately for the side of Western, you just don't really have anybody to push up onto this high ground. Okay, Red Ninja, making me eat my words. Suzu is going to end up sinking fast, potentially looking for that res. No, is going to push out the door. Headshot. INVU, she brings 2 in this fight so far. Now looking to just put some damage out on to do the Zarya. That's the thing, when you're up against this Widow, you're not necessarily going to get a whole lot of charge ready. Alright, 100 though now, looking to burn somebody down. No bubbles to work with. Love notes very low, but a Squid 2 is going to be a little bit lower. Sights have come out here. INVU, nice headshot as Red Ninja tries to put pressure on Dr. Tony. I mean, hey, he gets the res. He doesn't live for it, but he does get another res. That actually might be enough to buy at least a little bit of time here. Plus, Oh no, blue ice being taken out before you can use that bola shot, and unfortunately no bubbles to work with here means Dew is not going to be able to live long enough to build that grab. The touch not quite there. St. Clair Academy is going to pick up King's Row, setting themselves at a match point here.
Play of the game.
Okay, Kevin Fart, I mean, this is so deserved. This is so deserved. Absolutely incredible performance on the Freya. We love to see it. All right, so Canadian Collegiate League does have a set map order, which means that map number 3 is going to be a Flashpoint map. And since there's only 3 Flashpoint maps, there's no map ban for this. So it's just going to be Western that gets to pick which Flashpoint we're going to, I believe. And they're all... Oh, no, we do have bans. Okay, well, that's fine. The ban coming out, it's going to be New Junk City. So, map number 3, Saravasa, is going to be our Flashpoint. Here we go. Alright. St. Clair looking to close it out here now. Is Western going to be able to start a reverse sweep? Maybe. Saravasa, you're going to get to maybe go back over onto this Junker Queen composition, but I think since you already used your Zarya ban, which you can't ban Zarya again, you already did it once in the series, I think that you're just going to be forced kind of onto the Zarya mirror again. Which, I don't know, Dew did look pretty good on the Zarya. It just seemed like the Western team wanted to play more around the style that the Junker Queen offers, where you're moving fast. You're looking to get the opening picks. You're looking to go first in the fights. And, okay, hero bans coming in as well, and this might lean into my suspicion that they want to play the Junker Queen, because it is going to be Western actually banning out the Kiriko. So, not having that Suzu on the field definitely would make things a lot easier for the Rampage. Oh, fascinating. Okay, St. Clair is actually going to ban out the Zarya here. So since St. Clair hasn't banned out the Zarya yet, that does mean that they can ban her out. So I wasn't necessarily expecting that. But I think we might just get a Junker Queen mirror again. It might just happen. On Saravasa. Feels like the world is healing. Alright. Let's get into it. Potentially our last map of the series, but potentially an opportunity to have Western turn things around and start a reverse sweep for us. It all comes down to this. Saravasa, map number 3. No Kiriko, no Zarya. What are we going to end up with? Junker Queen, Lucio Kiriko, Freya, Vendetta. That's what I think.
Ready for battle.
Ooh, wait, how did both these teams log Moira Lucio? What is this? Oh my gosh. I love the Canadian Collegiate League. I really hope we get Moira on this map. That would be so fun. I definitely have seen it from Dr. Tony. I definitely know that he's got a Moira. I think Lupno does too.
4, 3.
Okay. I mean, this just playing the Moira here just really leans into this Junker Queen style, right? You don't want to have long, scrappy fights with this Moira. Okay, fascinating. We're going to get the Genji Vendetta from the side of Western. INVU is going to move over on to the Tracer. We have a Junker Queen Lucio Moira mirror. This is absolutely incredible. All right, Western's going to get themselves set up on the point first here, but remember, this composition wants to move quickly. All right, there we go. Western's moving quickly here, finds that opening kill onto Kevin Fart, who definitely is going to be a target in these situations. That Sojourn has the least amount of mobility on the side of St. Clair. Pressure on the point now from Western, but they recognize that they need to clean up these kills before you can cap this point over. Excellent engagement there from the team. And now we can clean up the rest of these members of St. Clair, at least push them out. cap goes the way of Western, and as that stock, oh no, she just finds herself a little bit too split there and gets punished for it. All right, Western in control. Have to watch for INVU on this Tracer, because Tracer... Oh, okay. We're actually going to end up with a Tracer Genji here. I like this. I think that this is going to play a little bit better in kind of this Junker Queen composition, where the Sojourn needs a little bit of time to kind of set up, find those angles. Needs to see a lot of coordination here from St. Clair, and all right, punishing the aggression from Red Ninja. Excellent way to start things off. Fast, very low though, is going to end up dying for Kevin Fart. Oh, I'm gonna send Dr. Tony back to the spawn. The Moira getting a little bit too eager to find some kills there. And that is gonna be the flip going over to St. Clair. Trying to chase down Blue Ice. Oh, but he's got the deflect. He's gonna be just fine. We do have coalescences on both sides. Aesthetic Stock leading by quite a bit in this rampage. And here we see St. Clair trying to go first here. It is going to be the dueling coalescences coming out. Now, neither team has any perks yet, I do believe. Okay, actually, Dr. Tony does have some perks ready to go. Huge rampage from Aesthetic Stock. Does connect onto 3. Finds the kill onto Jester, courtesy of Kevin Fart. INVU on the Genji as well. That's the beauty of this Genji Tracer comp, is that they are so good at just cleaning up these kills. Especially when you have Fast on the Lucio as well. Able to do the damage, able to put out the speed. Don't think that Western's going to be able to get a touch here, but they are going to connect the blade. Oh no, Blue Ice gets punished for it pretty much immediately. Mark it once. St. Clair picked up control of that, flipping it right back over.
We should meet at the next point.
Chotoria says, Western isn't winning the Queen Mirror. My name is Nano Tyreno from the low GM ranked ladder. Alright, I love the predictions. I love the predictions in chat. INVU has a blade ready to go. Jester is going to have the beat to respond to it very soon here. Okay, shout out early from Dew, and that is going to be... Oh, you don't get the ice attack. The beat does come out from Jester. Connect onto 4. Rampage in response from Dew. He's with a response in the beat from Fast. Aesthetic Stock finding the kill onto Jester, though, and no Lucio for the side of Western. You're not going to have that speed. Dr. Tony forced to commit the coalescence here. He's going to be able to stay alive. Rather, really big rampage here from Aesthetic Stock. Connect onto 3, and if that is going to be the cleanup, first percentage is going to go the way of St. Clair here on Temple. I got it. I remember it. All right. Love Note did hold on to the Coalescence, the only ult on the board for the side of St. Clair. Red Ninja has the Sundering Blade. I think that the issue you're going to run into with this ultimate is there's so much mobility on the side of St. Clair. Pretty much everybody has a movement ability to just find their way out of it. Coalescence from Love Note is met with a whole lot of aggression from Red Ninja. Has the ult, not able to stay alive though. There's no burst healing in this Moira comp, so, or this Moira Lucio comp, so it's really hard to, if you get focused down, you're pretty much not going to be able to stay alive through it. Team kill comes through here for St. Clair, and they are looking very comfortable. Kevin Fart hiding with the pulse bomb. Looking. Oh, not quite gonna connect. Oh, a little bit of self-damage there, but isn't gonna die for it. Fast finds the opening kill though. Blue Ice is down. Doesn't have that blade. Western would love to have that ult to work with. Okay, Fast finding a second one onto Dr. Tony here. The overtime has started, and the members are not there for Western to stay in at this point. And now, if you are Western, you are looking at a mini reverse sweep here to start your full reverse sweep.
Flashpoint.
Ruins is going to be the next sub point, and that's not a very far walk at all for St. Clair to get to. Aesthetic Stock has this rampage to work with. Actually, a lot of ultimate is coming online here for the side of St. Clair. They're in a really good position to hold this. Blade out from Blue Whites to start things out, but so much mobility from St. Clair. It just means you're not really going to be able to connect, and there is connection for you. Another rampage from Aesthetic Stock. Find another 3K, and there to mostly clean up is just Dew alive on the point now for the side of Western. Trying to stall out a little bit. That's going to be it. it, though, as first percentage is gonna go to St. Clair. You just commit the rampage there. Build up to pretty much everything else. Red Ninja over onto the Reaper to play a little bit closer to this Junker Queen. Didn't really have the resources in the Moira and the Lucio to kind of stay alive on that Vendetta to support with the dives. Here we go, Coalescence plus the Blade. IFBU is just getting mostly healed up, but not quite enough. It's okay, her team is there to find the kills. Just a wall of blue in the kill feed. A late kill on the blue ice as well.
Thanks. You cannot escape
Alright,
me.
Western. You got the beach, you got the rampage to work with. INPU actually is going to swap over onto the Sombra here, potentially. Last fight. Once these flashpoint maps get towards 80%, this is pretty much it. Western needs to find a way onto the point. They need to hold this point. Rampage from Dew. Connects onto 2, but it is the beam from Vast in response. Going to keep everybody quite healthy. Not a static stock, though. She gets split. That's what Western is really winning these fights off of. Oh, Pulse Bomb actually committed there from Kevin Hart as well. Does get shut down. And there's the flip. That's step 1 that we need from Western. Step number 2 is, of course, going to be holding this nice little 3K there for Blue Ice, building up rapidly to another Blade. We do have the Blossom coming online as well for Red Ninja. You gotta see some cooldowns come out before you use this. And also with the Sombra, you gotta be so careful you can just get hacked. Kevin Fart's gonna put some pressure on the point. Does bring back Blue Ice, but otherwise you lose Bast there, so you're not really going to be able to get the rest of your team kind of in to this point. Now, if you're Western, you really don't want to commit too many resources to this Tracer. You just have to be aware that he's back there. There we go, Death Blossom in. You have the shout to go with it and the amp speed, and that is a very good engagement there from Western. You just got to keep that up for one more fight, and you'll be able to put your first point on the board here for Surabasa. Looks like it is Kevin versus Blue Ice kind of happening back here on the point. Blue Ice would really love to kind of move towards this front line. I mean, you do have this Blade coming online. Dueling Coalescences come out here. We have the Rampage. Yep, in from Aesthetic Stock. Connects on to 2, but we do get the TP out. Dr. Tony's able to live. EMP connects on to 4, though. INVU might have just finished this off for her team. Blue Ice very low, manages to get the 1 kill on to INVU. Overtime now trickling away as the flip is going to come over. St. Clair Academy are going to be able to pick up Surabasa and our series in the 3-0 fashion. Very well played.
Play of the game.
Yeah, Static Sock on this Junker Queen. I mean, I knew her Zarya was good. We definitely loved the Zarya. The Junker Queen, really great too. Excellent rampages that her team just knew what to do with, right? We're calling out, okay, no Suzu, okay, you know, no beat or anything really, and you connect onto at least 2 with pretty much every rampage, and you get at least like 1 kill from every rampage. Really impressive stuff. So GG's to St. Clair. What a treat to get to cast these 2 teams, and a reminder, these are just the placements, so there is going to be, you know, a full season to go after this. These teams are just figuring out their seedings, who's going to be in the Premier, who's going to be in the Challengers divisions, so definitely lots more Overwatch to be had before these teams are decided on what division they'll end up in, but that is going to be it for me for tonight. I just had the 1 match to cover, but I'm super excited. I will be back on Saturday as well. So Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be covering SFU Capybaras versus University of Toronto JV. So that'll be same time, same place on Saturday. So thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed watching some Canadian collegiate action, and I hope that I get to see you again on Saturday. Have a great night. Take care.